Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. I make videos about interview preparation, HR questions, and how I got selected for the major IT companies. If you find this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. So, hello everyone. Placements are around the corner, and I understand that this must be a very tough time for all of you. Not tough actually, but a very anxious time. You might be feeling very confused and worried and thinking about which company you would end up with. So I understand. I was this a year ago in the same situation, panicking, confused what to do, from where to study, and how to crack all those difficult interview rounds. So in the past 1 year, I have, participated in the interviews for a lot of companies, faced a lot of different type of questions, whether technical, HR, or any other type of managerial questions. So I think that I have, gained some perspective and some basic knowledge on how to tackle these questions, because knowing the right answer is not the only thing that is required. How do you present that answer, how do you respond to the questions, and how do you behave in front of the interviewer, that is also very essential. So I have collected some points and I'll be sharing those in this video. Okay, here's a list of all the important things that lead to a good interview preparation, and like you can see on your screen. Okay, so chalo, we'll start. First of all, resume. I think it's one of the most essential parts for any interview to succeed. First of all, first point would be that do not create all those fancy resumes, those colorful resumes. They don't look nice. Choose a very basic, simple white template, because your content is at priority here and not the beautification of the resume, correct? So make sure that you include all the points from your skills, your CGPA, like your class 12 percentage, all your internships, and even if you don't have any internships, then you can include all your projects, your personal projects that you have worked on, or any hackathon projects. You can include all your trainings, your certifications, and any co-curricular activities you have done. Like, it's very essential to show that besides studies, what else you are interested in, and any of the things that makes you different, and any of the skills that you think are good, and you should highlight those in your resume. So focus on creating a good resume. I think spend some good amount of time to make that resume, and after you get it, you can just keep updating it based on your whatever you gain over the time. So yeah, so during the interviews, whether it's online or offline, always keep your resume handy with you. Like, if it's an online interview, always have that open on your local machine, because there's a high chance that the interviewer also has your resume, and he or she has already gone through it. They are likely to ask you a lot of questions based on your skills. For example, I was a web developer, like I am a web developer, and I had skills from HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So the interviewer used to ask me questions on those also. So it's essential that whatever skills you have mentioned, you have a thorough knowledge about it, or you have some practical understanding of that skill. So do not bluff it. So next would be the introduction. Okay, whenever you go and participate in any kind of interview, this is the first question that every guy asks you, that tell me about yourself or introduce yourself. Okay, we'll go point wise. First of all, always mention your name, your degree, from which college are you pursuing your BTech, and what CGPA do you hold. Always again mention your tech domains. This indicates the interviewers to ask questions in which direction, whether you feel more comfortable in C++ or in Java, you feel more comfortable with DSA or web development, or any other domain that you like. And you can always mention something about your projects or your internships. Okay, so always mention your virtues also, or any of the positive qualities that you possess, like leadership, or that you are a good team worker, or you are optimistic, or you value time, whatever you feel that is like more relevant for the company profile and more relevant for you. Okay, Like I mentioned, lay emphasis on the subjects or the things that you feel more confident about. Like you can, if you like say SQL, you can always mention ki currently I'm learning SQL and I really find it interesting and something like that. Okay, next comes projects. I think these are also like discussed in almost every interview, whether they are your internship projects or your personal projects. The interviewer always seeks out and asks you question about your projects. Through this, they are like looking at what tech stacks have you worked on and how well have you created your projects. They just want to see ki how well about the things that you have created. So there's one point that always have your projects hosted somewhere. Also, you should be well aware of the tech stack that you have used in it or that you have worked on. Suppose if there's a website and a lot of things have gone into it, like machine learning, web development, front end, back end, everything. So know ki what tech stack have you worked on. If suppose you have worked on the front end, so know ki what frameworks have you used, what tags have you used for HTML, CSS, and what elements have you used. So you should have a good understanding of that, and always prepare a brief about your project ki what your project is. Like if it's a website or it's an application, and what it is doing, like what are its functionalities and how is it serving any real world problem. Next are the subjects. Okay, so I think these 4 to 5 subjects are very essential for your interview preparation. They are most of the time asked, like some basic questions from these subjects are asked. There are a lot of online resources available, a lot of good YouTube channels, which give you proper roadmaps for these subjects to be completed in 1 week. So you can just, target them and, complete them. Okay, now let's come to DSA. It's one of the most dreaded topics, and I understand that no matter what practice you have done, you still feel a little, unsure of your skills and everything. So it's okay. It's very normal. You should have a basic understanding of what every structure means and what like value they hold and what functionality they provide, like what where are trees used, where are graphs used. So you should basically know that, even if you don't know how to write the proper code in it, just have a basic understanding of at least that. And personally, I've seen like in a lot of service-based companies, the interviewers, usually ask you questions from arrays and strings and sorting algorithms. Oh my God, sorting algorithms are very important. I can't even remember like how many times I have been asked to write the code for bubble sort. So sorting algorithms and all your dynamic programming questions, like all your knapsack, coin change, all of these are again very important. So you can, just revise these particular topics out of all the DSA before any interview, because they are more likely to be asked in any interview. So let's suppose assume a scenario where the interviewer is giving you a question. He's explaining everything. He's giving you the question, the array, the values. So first of all, listen whatever he is saying, understand it, and then ask some questions. Like for example, if there is an array, you can ask if this array is sorted, or if are there any negative numbers in that, questions like that. Understand that particular situation properly, because coding, like writing the wrong code is not the solution. इससे तो अच्छा है कि you can just पहले focus on understanding the problem. Okay, so as soon as you get the question, whatever logic or whatever concept that comes in your mind, discuss your approach with the interviewer, that you are thinking this, you're going in that direction, and you're planning to use this particular type of data structure. And after he approves or he finds it convincing enough, then you can start the coding part and you can write the code. Actually, in interviews, your logic is more important than your code. It's okay if you miss out some semicolon or brackets here and there. You can easily add it, but your logic and the time complexity that you're using for your particular code is important. It's very likely that the interviewer, after you have written the code, they are likely to ask you to reduce the complexity, the time complexity, and they like ask you to optimize it. Even if you're not able to do so, you can always take their advice. You can ask for hints, something like that. It's okay. Just imagine that you're solving this question with your friend, and okay. Now let's come to the OOPS concepts. Uh, Again, a very important part of all the interviews, because I think I have been asked what are the pillars of OOPS in almost every interview. So, you can go through any Geeks for Geeks article or any good article on OOPS concepts and just learn the definitions of what classes and objects mean, what are the pillars and what all of them mean, like what are the types of polymorphism, and always try to learn some real world examples for these concepts. Whenever you are asked about them and you quote some real world example, it shows that you're very much thorough with the concept of OOPS and you know what it is, and you can relate it with your real life. So a lot of examples are there on the internet. You can just search them and learn one example for each of the terms present on the screen. Now, be prepared with some classic questions. So it's my advice to have some basic answers prepared for these prior to your interview. I know that you can think it's easy and you can say anything on the spot, but no, it's not nice. Just to be safe, have some answers prepared for these questions already. I have uploaded the how to answer where do you see yourself in 5 years. I have uploaded that video also. If you want, you can take reference. I have provided a sample answer there, so you can see the link for that in the I button, and you can watch that also. Okay, next is have a decent knowledge about your company. Okay, like how we stalk people on social media, right? We stalk our friends, we stalk the people we like. So you can also stalk your company. I think you should stalk your company. You should have a basic knowledge of who the CEO is and what products they provide, what services do they provide, what are the locations this company is located at, what trainings do they provide. While interacting with the interviewer, it's good if you can mention all these points, because it shows that you have done some research. Next point. Whenever any interview ends, the guy always asks you if you have any questions or do you have any doubts you want to ask. So never deny asking any questions. Always ask something. You can ask very basic things. How does a typical day at company ABC looks like, or you can ask the interviewer that how has his experience been working in this particular company, and you can ask what qualities do they seek for in a fresher. You can just ask very random and basic questions. This looks good that you're actually interested in the interview and you were paying heed to whatever was being discussed. So never deny this and always ask something. Okay, so all these are the points that were to be kept in mind while giving the interview. But here are some important points which create a good impact, which can boost up your chances of getting selected for that company. First would be try to look presentable. Do not even if it's an online interview, do not sit there in your casual clothes or any informal way. Always have your formals on, a proper iron shirt. Your hair should look proper. For your online interviews, always have your earphones ready and make sure that your internet connection is stable. And even if it's not, you should have some backup option ready for your internet. Next, you should be on time, whether it's online or offline interview. So be confident about your skills and everything that you know in an interview. It's okay. You're still a fresher. You're still in college. You're still just out of college, whatever your situation is. So it's completely all right to not know answers to each and everything. So in that situation, instead of panicking and becoming all nervous and everything, you should stay confident and just politely, if you don't know the answer to some question, you can always politely tell the interviewer that unfortunately I am not able to recall this particular thing at this moment. I remember reading it, but I can't recall it. So, but I will surely look into this after the interviewer and after the interview is over. Or maybe if it's a coding question and you are not very confident about your approach, you can always take the help from the interviewer. Can you please guide me? What do you think? Is my approach correct? What is the right solution according to you? So it's completely all right to do that. So one important thing is that just be confident of your skills and your what you are saying in the interview, and always have a notepad and a pen handy with you, because some interviewers, they give out you aptitude questions or riddles, so just to solve them you should have all of these things near you. ठीक है. Besides that, I personally felt कि some companies, like every company has a different way of taking their interviews. The number of rounds, the type of rounds they take are a little bit different and unique to their own company. So you can have a good idea about it through interview experiences. You can go on Medium, you can read about a lot of interview experiences. You can go on YouTube and you can watch various interview experiences for the various companies. Even I have uploaded a lot of experiences on my channel, and you can just get a good idea of what that company is looking for and the type of rounds they take. You can always contact your seniors in your college and ask them questions, like whoever got placed in that company that you're preparing for. You can ask them how did they prepare and what was the way that they answered. So as for any pro tip, I would just like to say that I understand that you're preparing for your placements right now and you must be very anxious and feeling a little underconfident, if I might say. So have faith in yourself, have faith in your skills. Nobody knows everything, so having a decent knowledge also works well. And all the best. If you have any doubts or any questions, you can ask me in my comment section and I'll be happy to answer. Okay, bye.